Welcome to Goon Squad Anime. We talk about all the anime that you're going to be watching. I'm Ron from Chicago.
I'm MC2K.
I'm Asian Nick.
And in this episode, we'll be reviewing episode 123 of Black Clover called Nero Reminisces Part 1.
So far, the first thing they touch on is the grimoires again. They touched on, like, if you get blessed with a Clover book, you get the three Clovers first.
Right.
You get faith, hope, and love. And then after that, there's a 4, which gives you the extra luck.
Right.
And if you're unfortunate enough to have the 5th one,
It's the devil.
yeah, pretty much. You got this devil. So then, my question is, do you get to keep all the other 4 elements with it?
Yeah, you do, because that's what Asta is.
So Asta is like super lucky, and he gets stuck with.
Well, I wouldn't say he's super lucky, but he has luck and the devil on his side.
That does make sense. That makes sense.
So in this episode, it is a filler episode, but it kind of goes over the storyline that we've been shown over and over throughout this series of the Wizard King and Lich and how they met and fought their last fight, when he turns into a giant monster. But it also fills in like gaps that, I wouldn't say gaps, but fills in more of the storyline, so we get to see little things that it doesn't really cover. Like, for example, like how Tetia and Lich met. Tetia was in like a manor tornado, and Lich freaking saves her.
Oh yeah, and then right after that, he goes, "Hey, thank you for saving my sister."
Right.
And he sees that Luminaire has 4-leaf grimoire, and then he's like, "Oh, you got one?"
I got one.
So he pulls out his, and ever since that day, they were like, "Let's be best friends."
Right.
Because they also both use light magic, except for one uses swords and one is like pure light.
Right.
So their friendship was really good. So the one thing that we also realized, they touched on it before, but the only way to make a 5 Clover grimoire is someone who has a 4 has to fall.
Yeah, be thrown into despair.
Yeah.
Right.
So that means there is technically only 2 5 Clover grimoires right now. Asta having one. Mm-hmm. The devil had the other one.
Yeah, from the light thing. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the only 2. So there could be many 4 Clover grimoires.
Right. I'm curious though, is that do you have to have the 4th Clover, or can yours be a 3 Clover, and then you have the 4th one be despair, not luck?
No, I think you have to have it has to be whoever is a 4th user,
and
you have to make them experience some form of despair, and then if there's a devil present, he can manipulate and take over. Because that's when he was like, "I want to go get my body," and he used magic items to attack the elves, and then throw him into throw light into despair so he can take over his body.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense now.
So we also learned that the humans didn't attack the elves, because everyone the whole time we kept believing that the humans came, attacked the elves, and that's why the elves want revenge against the human race.
Right.
But that's not what happened.
Basically, they used a magic item that they created, but that stored Lumiere's freaking powers, and the devil used that magic item to basically attack the elves, because no one else knew about the wedding, and that's the place of where it's all going to be held besides them.
Yeah, so just the elves, the devil, and Luminaire. So.
Yeah,
and they took that opportunity to get a body.
Right.
And
or try to get a body.
He still didn't get his body.
I mean, because at the end, during the fight, like, you can see that light helped, like, he's able to take control for a split second at the end, and it was like, this is your chance.
Right.
Yeah, so, and then when he was about to get taken over, you saw his eyes were changing colors, and he was like, "Oh, I knew you would never do something like this."
Right.
And then he kind of went back to normal, or in his words, he took in more negative energy to prevent the devil from actually taking his body.
Right. So he was about to have the devil take over, then he realizes like, hey, you couldn't do this, but I gotta take all this negative energy and become this monster, so that way I have you have the chance to basically defeat me. Yeah,
and then other than that, there's still like few gaps that are still missing though.
I mean, we did get to see like how he exactly was able to put the plan in act, because once Sekiri seals him, right before he dies, he does his own like little ritual spell or whatever. And he takes the jewels in with him, and then he plants into the dead bodies. He plants the. So that's why we got to see like when they revive and all the elves come back. He saw how he put that plan into action.
Right.
Yeah, but we also got to remember like before anything happened with the jewels, she still had him, and she was able to seal him away.
And then he did that while she was doing it.
Yeah, while she was doing that.
He was like, I might have to take longer, but I'll just wait my time until an era where you guys don't exist. And then he saw him drop the magic into the dead bodies.
Yeah. So it's crazy that she was right after she sealed the Wizard King. She went into a slumber for. In her words, she just said several years.
Yes.
She doesn't like give a set number.
Right.
The only thing we see happening right after that is Asta and Yuna appear at the church, and we learn that the priest didn't name them. They were already clothed with their names
already on it, and they got. We already knew this. They both got dropped off at the same time, but it is kind of weird that they both had their names like on their shirts, basically, kind of in the same handwriting.
I mean, that means they come from like we'll see that they eventually probably come from. We'll probably see like their families or something linking to where like why they got dropped off.
Right.
Eventually.
I'm curious if Nero had something to do with that, or Nero Sekiri had something to do with that or not.
Well, so that's why that's what I said. Like, there's still like a small gap missing, like from when the moment where she's by herself with Luminaire's sister or whatever, when she's looking over all the bodies or whatever, and then to when she gets back to where the Wizard King is, there's like a small gap there.
Right, and then when she wakes up too, obviously we don't know how many years it's been, but obviously she's been around for 500 years, so maybe we get more of that gap in the next filler episode, since this is part 1.
Yeah, hopefully they do fill us in, and then eventually we move back on. So only thing we know is that the little bull is running somewhere.
Yeah.
The giant bull is running somewhere. We don't know where it's running to, but hopefully it's running to one of the different kingdoms.
Yeah, that would be interesting to see where it goes. So
I mean, by the intro, you can tell that they show, like at one of the things they show like a group of three people standing there, and you can see they were from another kingdom. So like you can tell they're about to integrate.
Right. Yeah. So which kingdom do you think they're heading towards? Do you still think we're
going to
the Devil Kingdom?
Yeah, we know it's not the Diamond, because like, I mean, they know about them. They've already. It's gonna be one of the other two. So yeah, I would put my money on the Demon Kingdom first.
Or since the Heart Kingdom is neutral, they could go to them and they can make friends
See what they know,
yeah.
And then
because
I feel like the Devil Kingdom's not gonna welcome anybody.
Yeah, that's fine. It started antagonizing people because all the kingdoms already know that Clover Kingdom is in peril right now. So I would go to the neutral kingdom and try to be friends, make a little alliance or whatever. That way we can have somebody to help us out just in case one of these other kingdoms want to get stupid.
Yeah,
that's what I would do. It makes sense. But other than that, it was actually a pretty short episode.
Right.
Not much.
I wouldn't say it's short. It's a normal length episode, but we didn't really find anything out.
It was like fleshed out, let you get the entire backstory all together without it being small
little
flashes
clips.
of it.
Yeah. All right, so check us out next week for part 2 of probably it's going to be the same title, Nero Reminisces part 2. But yeah, check us out. Hit that like and subscribe button.
It's free.
Wow. I'm Ron from Chicago.
This is TK.
I'm Asia Nick. Check us out next week.
Yes. Finally. Theme song now.